So I have a follow-up question about my last question I had with the body scanning. You said it's a poor man's supper, and it would just interest me, why do you think it is that way? Maybe about all like mindfulness meditations. And what is a better approach to do it? How can I do it better or in a more efficient way?
I say things often because they come out. So, poor man's supper, it just came out. But I do mean it. So I truly feel that all these mindful techniques are poor man's supper. It's still a supper. It may be quenching the hunger. But mindfulness is based on what? Let's just separate wheat from the chaff. What is it based on? Mindfulness itself.
On being aware?
No, being mindful. Being mindful, not being aware. We don't do anything to be aware. None of us. We cannot do anything about it. Awareness is all there is. So we cannot really say that mindfulness as a technique is being aware. It gains its name from being mindful of whatever we do, which is very old and particularly strongly advocated in many Buddhist schools, but not only. To be mindful of one's actions, one's thoughts, one's speech, the whole gamut. Maybe in a different order, more precise order, right? First of one's thoughts, and then all proceeds from there, then speech, then action. But mindfulness itself, you see, is not what provides the impetus for all this, what we want to be most harmonious, most balanced, most coherent. It's based on our wish to remain on top of what arises on its own. Whereas, let's say, methods that are based on transcendence, methods that are based on that what is self-evident, because transcendence is self-evident. It's a quality of the mind in its quiescent way. Only circumstances need to be provided, situation provided, that sitting down, meditating, sitting down again and meditating. And then if the meditation is done correctly, then it's very natural, spontaneous process. We don't do anything to meditate. In fact, it's so simple, and perhaps because it's so simple, it causes so much confusion. And you will find that this kind of conversation, I'm merely echoing what has been said before me and right now being spoken. A reminder, somehow, when various forms of meditation came to the West, a lot of meditations were brought in which had a distinctive element of focusing, remaining. For example, I can't take it because it will make a sound now. If I take my Rudraksha Mala, counting each bead, right? Like, having 108, for example, and counting each bead, not counting the bead itself, repeating the mantra whilst counting the beat. This is, for example, known as japa. Japa, repetition. You see? So many forms of meditation rose and were brought up that had these elements of requiring a close attention on what you're doing. So now tell me, when is the time to transcend? You see? Because you are constantly paying attention to something. Whereas the object of meditation is for the purpose of simply creating that impulse in the mind so that it doesn't waver to and fro, pulled by the propensities of mind's tendencies to wander, because mind has been taken out of its seat by the senses. So, mind is sattva. Have you heard that concept? Sattva. In essence, mind is sattva. So in other words, this is immediate answer why we look for harmony, why it is inherent, why we look for balance, why we look for happiness, why we look for everything that sattva is associated with. Because that's a natural state of the mind. Mind is sattvic. So mind should not be blamed for doing wrong things. Mind is actually sattva. Moreover, mind is held in a high regard in Tantra, in Shaiva Tantra in particular. Because there is even a sutra, right? Manas Chaitanya. Mind is consciousness. Mind is consciousness. You cannot look at the sun because that will blind you. It will harm the retina. But you can look at the moon anytime and for as long as you wish. Because it's a light that of the sun that bounces off the surface of the moon and has different quality. Mind has these lunar qualities. Appeased, settled mind is somic, lunar. Because of that, all this business of self-realization everyone talks about these days has any meaning. If not for the mind, then it doesn't make any sense. Because it's only through the mind that we can reflect on these things, because that luminosity reflects at the surface of the mind. You see? So consciousness here reflects back onto itself through the luminosity that mind can here reflect back. So the art of meditation, the skill in meditation, is to create the possibility for as quick a transcendence as it is possible. Mind will wander, mind will move, because there are tendencies. There is agitation. So therefore specific techniques introduced. For example, here we use a lot of japa, ajapa. Japa, ajapa is a Sanskrit term for repeating, not repeating. It is the meditation on the breath. What I mentioned earlier, counting the beats, vipassana, all these, million repetitions, you read in books. By the time you'll make 100 million repetitions, then I will make just like, deliberate kind of, I know I'm simplifying it, but you will find it somewhere. You need to make millions of repetitions, and then suddenly, maybe angels in heaven just simply take pity on you, And they were like, okay, this guy is really in business, you know. But in reality, that's a simple misconception. And there are tons of misconceptions, a lot of misconceptions circulating around. So don't be hard on yourself. People spend decades doing wrong things, believe me. Decades. So if you read something in a book and it made strong impression on you and you start doing it and it impressed you, how old are you? 21. Gosh, you can have it all. So don't worry about that. It's a beautiful age where you can really, really master meditation. But you need to let go of all this. Even the fact that you begin the question, why do I think that? Means like, convince me, why am I wrong? I don't want to do this. You see what I mean? Like,
no, I just like to know, I mean, why? What's the reason? It interests me. Why?
Well, we're talking about mindfulness now. In my understanding, mindfulness is tiptoeing. Tiptoeing. You want to look taller, so you walk on your tiptoes. For a while it's okay, but then you will feel tired. It will be painful, it will be uncomfortable, so you will want to put your full foot back on the ground. That's what mindfulness is. It's remaining mindful throughout the day. Oops, I'm no longer mindful, I lost it. Start again. None of that. None of that. None. What you came to experience here and here, this work is based on natural, spontaneous, and involuntary unfoldment of every process. Even if we sometimes give it a little tweak here, tweak there. But the meditation is based on whatever you do when you get up from your meditation mat, life should proceed spontaneously, with no hindrance whatsoever, with nothing to try to be mindful. That's the true impact of your meditation. You get out of meditation, you cannot help not being mindful, if we are to use this analogy now. Why? Because there's enough light, enough consciousness. Enough consciousness or enough awareness. What would you practice? Witnessing state of consciousness. You've heard that term. Cannot be practiced, what I explain to people. You cannot practice witnessing state of consciousness. Witnessing state of consciousness is a result of separation of the self from the field of activity. It's not something you can do or anyone can do. It happens at that level, at the level of the self. The self separates itself from the field of action. That's what witnessing state of consciousness is characterized. You see? So, are these still burdening you during the sitting, this habit of still going through scanning and what you've done for a while?
Not as much as at the start. I tried to repeat not repeat all the time, but think of the words you told me last time of not repressing and not chasing anything. And it does help, but still, I feel like when I relax, I automatically become aware of tension in the body, and it's kind of hard not to focus on it. But I'm not trying to scan my body, but I just feel very aware of my body, and like during meditation, it's normal that I relax. So then I just feel even more like tense spots.
What else do you do in your life, if you don't mind me asking? What else, like, what are your interests? What your hobbies? What you're studying?
I'm going to be studying psychology in September. I'm starting my studies. I like football. I like.
No, what you're doing? Not.
Oh, sorry.
No, like you're playing football.
I used to play football, but I think
Okay.
I'm going to start again. Yeah.
Okay.
I like kickboxing. Yeah, I like meditation.
You see, lovely. So when you do kickboxing, do you feel tension in the body? Do you feel these sensations of?
No, not necessarily.
No.
Because then I'm moving.
Yes, that's true. When you're watching TV, do you watch TV at all? Do you like
Sometimes.
watching movies?
Yeah. Yeah, then I do. If I sit down, like now, I can also feel it.
When you watch TV,
Even when I watch TV, yeah.
you touch the shoulder, okay? Not just in the shoulders, right?
No, but a lot in the shoulders, in the legs.
What does it feel like? What is it? What do you think? Where is it coming from?
The tension,
Yeah.
just repressed emotions over a long period of time.
Do you think you have repressed your emotions?
Yes, yeah.
Why is that? Why do you think is that?
Just too much,
Too much to take in. Do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? No? Do you want to?
Yes.
Do you have a girl that you fancy?
No, not at the moment.
No? Well, boy, girl,
No.
both?
No.
No. Good age to, like, to chase girls. I'm saying that it also helps the body to relax from repressed emotions, because you will experience new emotions. You see? You will experience new emotions and you'll forget about all the repressions. Let's live from the new stock of experiences. Let's not stew in the juices of the past. Even if the psychologists that you will study say that that's the whole point. The most highly desired and the most highly, professions in the States are lawyers and shrinks. You know that? In North America in general. Everyone has a lawyer and everyone goes to a shrink. You know what shrink means?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, do you want to become a shrink?
Maybe, I don't know.
Then change the rules of the game. First of all, soon as you study this, tell them, guys, let's change the term. I suggest, instead of shrink, expand. Expand. Maybe spandex or something. No, because, like shrink is not because they are shrinking you, they're shrinking your wallet, obviously. They're shrinking No, that's why they're called shrinks. They're shrinking your wallet. So, if only I look into what happened in my life, I'll probably not sit here for a minute. I'll die from a heart attack. We need to learn. So we spoke about mindfulness, right? So this may sound contradictory, but it's not. Spiritual methodology has to work spontaneously when we go about our daily business. Then it is effective. Then it is compatible. Maybe Buddhists did not grok one thing, is that they bring very monastic teachings into masses who are householders. Okay? So this is also a very important thing, and very few of them realize actually fully what that means. This is why when Chogyam Trungpa made his way to England, he said sod it and renounced his monkhood and immediately married a girl and start, rolling around like a rock and roll. Because in order for his teaching to unfold fully, he had to renounce that vow. You know who I'm talking about? Well, you're well educated. You already at 21, you know all these names. It's brilliant. So, please let us make this now clear. Only those practices that when you've done them and you're off the mat, off the court, off the tatami, they make sense into your life immediately. Okay? When you do the martial arts, you don't need to come out of the sparring or a workout and walk around aware that you're going to beat anyone who comes along. Or you just no, you walk around gracefully like as an animal simply because there's something happened to your body. It honed. Honing of the body, that's what happens to it. And it's very important at 28, 21. So you do take care of the body and do chase at least a couple girls, all right, before you decide which one. You need to kind of bring these emotions, even if it will be conflicting for you. You will forget about all that what you consider to be repressed. You see? So now we left that what belongs to practices. They have to bear fruits immediately and not by tiptoeing. With regard to this, what might have made its deep impressions on you when you grew up. Maybe somehow, at some point, you were not allowed to express yourself. Maybe you did not have, I don't know, it will be all speculation now to dig into this and look into what might have happened. You see? And the choices here is to dig in all that, what is shrouded in mystery and history, and to open up to the light of experiencing reality on a daily basis in a more engaged manner, which will require for you to be more engaged emotionally. And that in itself reassures that what you feel there, repressed in the body, will move. You will understand that from the point of view of movement of energy. Movement of energy. When energy moves, there's no stagnation. When we vibrate, there's no stagnation. Vibrate, move, shake, tremble. That's why we dance. That's why we shake. That's why we booty. That's why we, do you do booty? No?
I don't know what booty is.
Huh?
I don't know what booty is.
Shaking your butt.
Booty, yeah.
It's very, very good. Moves energy. Connects you to the ground as well. Strongly connects you to the Mother Earth. Just go like. My son is brilliant at that. Very good. At 12, he's already music. I bet you love music. Who is your favorite composer? Oh, type of music. Composer, maybe it's a bit too much.
I don't know. I listen to a lot of kinds of music. I like classical music. I like more electronic music. I couldn't say, I don't know. But I have a big variety of music I like.
Specifically, come on, tell me something. I want to check it out.
A good song is called "A Lannister Always Pays His Debts." It's from the Game of Thrones soundtrack. It's a classical song, but it's very nice.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Okay. And something else?
Well, there's
any songs that make you feel emotional? Any favorite songs that kind of like make you feel emotional, romantic, like a little bit like, you know?
Yeah, there's Bruno Mars and a song that gets me hyped up is called Lamento de Gaita. You should look it up, it's very good. It's an electronic song.
Ruben is nodding down. He knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's my suggestion.
Okay, I'll definitely check it out, though someone needs to write it down, because I remember Game of Thrones, obviously, because the kids also watch that. So listen to this, please, now, because like you may think it's so funny for me. No, it's not. It's very serious for me. Very serious. I grew up as a serious kid as well. Very serious. But we also had great love, you know, like a lot of fun. So I shouldn't say I was too serious. All emotions, you remember, are gathered in the heart. Feelings. Remember that. This is a hint for you to understand that emotions need to move. Move. You need to move. Move them. This is why raga, the concept of raga in Indian music, pertinent to each time frame, particular time frame when certain vibrations dominate. Of course, that whole system of classical Indian music is based on the Gandharva, pacemaker, Gandharva. Mythologically, it's the area of divine beings, Gandharvas. In terms of its resonance at the physiological, at the level of your nervous system, it's that part of rhythms. You see? So music here, the concept of music in India is linked to this understanding that we do need to have these movements, you see? Something need to move your heart. So therefore, there will be less propensity to, like, you know, repressed emotions. We can enchant ourselves to believe that that's what happened. All of us have repressed emotions, I'm sure to some degree. I'm absolutely sure about that. Certain emotions were more repressed than others. Other maybe emotions were indulged in. So what? No. You take it from where you are now. So a little bit more spinning, you know, like I think if I was some, I don't know, 10, 20 maybe years younger, I would have taken you for a dance somewhere to a nightclub, you know, to shake up a little bit. Do you go to nightclubs? No? When are you going to do it then? When you're 41? Okay, maybe you are from the indigo generation and I'm completely missed the point and you just like already came here to change the destiny of the planet, which that's what indigo kids do. They come through us and they have nothing to do with us. That's what they say to us. I'm indigo and sorry dad, you know, your generation is passé. is gone. But you need to move. You need to be moved, okay? So it's easy to find yourself in that cocoon, especially if your mind is strong. You know, you read a lot, you understand a lot, and there's a propensity. So a little bit more somatic experience. So great that there is kickboxing, more somatic experiences. Do not neglect that. Movement, dance, fun. Fun. Go out and have fun. Okay? I'm not saying go out and get pissed. Did I say that? No. Because you have that sneaky look on you. I see that like all you waited for is to have that encouragement. Have fun. And you will see how new impressions, new emotions will dissolve that what felt as repressed emotions. So, you know, sometimes, like when I can't find the answer, not the right term, I can't find resonance in my environment to the way I feel, then that's when music, this is why when we put our favorite music, and I'm sure you have yours, that's when, you know, go out, discover more, new names, new genres. Are we sharing the list also? Do we still have music there? Yeah? Some suggestions? Do you know Massive Attack? No? They're all granddads now, for you know. There's a trip hop band in UK, in Bristol. Not hip hop, trip hop. They were the originators of. The music is very, like in the 90s, the critics called them the best act since the Beatles. The most creative, most innovative band, called Massive Attack. And they have very different, every album is very, very different. And some songs are some tracks are very, very emotional, although, like you could say, in a sense, when they came out, they were super cool. You know, they have this mixture of rap, hip hop, and all that what was innovative and new. In late albums, you know, a bit of a jungle music, but you know jungle? No? Fast beat, you know, like fast beat of beat, like I never got into it. To me it was like, but at some point it was, but as a creative lab, you know, so look for the music that also expands your tastes. Where do you live?
In Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. I'm sure it's all there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So this is my simply suggestion for you to introduce that movement instead of somehow keep coming back to that something's repressed in the body, the emotions repressed in the body. Instead, look into this whole concept of the movement of energy, pathways of energy, by the Indian way, ancient Indian way, or the Chinese, ancient Chinese, that's the whole system of meridians. What do they say to this? You see? Everything is in a flux, everything is moving all the time. So if there is a movement, then that what seems stagnant, that what seems that causing this some kind of a feeling of being somewhere, somehow undermined, undergoes change, transformation. But you need to make some move towards it, you see? Because if you keep going back to that, looking for justification, like mind, you probably have quite a bit of moon, there, next to Rahu. And when that happens, it's like a recipe for believing into things and creating that into a reality. When we have, we worked with imagination. Imagination can do wonders, but imagination has another side to it. We can begin to imagine bad things happen, or things are not good. And it becomes, we press the reality, we mold that reality for ourselves. So that's why I'm saying shake it off. See? Shake it off. It's like booty and, shake it. No, get up for...
What, dancing?
I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable, just...
Thank you.
No, so I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. Put the phone, not the phone, the microphone. Put the microphone. Stand in that strong, like in that white space. Stand there, please. Colin, look at me. Shake a little bit. Move. Shake. Yeah. Come on. Shake it. Yeah. Shake it. Yeah. Like, come on. Shake it. Yeah. Okay.
Shake up.
So every day a bit of shaking, please.